Hi, I'm Breen Samuels and welcome back to another episode of Soul Stirring Astrology, my Sun sign series, and today is the Sun in Capricorn. So a key phrase associated with Capricorn is I use. Other words are about being conservative, ambitious and conscientious. So Capricorn is the 10th house of the zodiac, so it's at the zenith in the heavens. So it's in a very pivotal position. And the reason being is it's this sense of you've achieved something, you've worked hard, you've been focused, you've had a plan of action and you've worked your plan of action. And as a result of this, you've steadily climbed to the top of the mountain. So you're feeling very accomplished and you want other people to celebrate that as well. But there's a part of you that hasn't quite shifted beyond your sense of insecurity. And the reason I mention this is because both Capricorn and Cancer are connected. One, they have a polarity between them because they oppose each other. But underneath that, they are both driven by this sense of insecurity. With Cancer, it's emotional insecurity. With Capricorn, it's about economic insecurity. So there's a really strong desire to amass material wealth or material possessions. And what really drives you, what gives you a sense of motivation is ambition and success. So on one level, you could come across as being somebody who's quite materialistic. That's because you're driven by this sense of fear, of insecurity around being dependent and not being able to physically touch and physically see the things that you have materialized. And the reason for this is because Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, is a very practical sign. So you're into the practical manifestations of principles and rules, which is very different from Sagittarius, which takes a far more philosophical approach to the rules and principles of life. Where with regards to Capricorn, you want to see the physical manifestations of the hard work that has come about because you have applied the readily accepted rules that society has laid down for you. So in order for you to begin ascending, it's about moving beyond the framework of the image associated with Capricorn. Now there are two in particular. We've got the mountain goat and we've got the sea goat. So with regards to the mountain goat, that's the one where you've steadily made your way forward, climbed to the top of the mountain, and you're basking in this sense of accomplishment. But what the underlying premise for you moving forward in that way is that you are driven to satisfy your own hunger. So your personal ego is very much caught up with or caught up in your material and external achievements. On the other hand, there's the sea goat. And the sea goat has already worked out, because it's gone down that path, that the path to riches and wealth lies beyond the personal ego. So with the sea goat, it's about imagining that he lives within the ocean. And when we think of the ocean water has eroded the mountain. So just think of it in terms of nature. We've got the mountain, which represents Capricorn or represents Saturn. So it's this sense of solidity. And then we've got the ocean, which is water, obviously. And we can think about that in terms of the Saturn square Neptune. Saturn, we've got Neptune, the water has been washing away the mountain. And as a result, it's turned it into sand. As a result of this, the sea goat then has access to all of the minerals or the resources and the ore. And so therefore, what he does is he rises from the ocean, which essentially means that it's about going into the unconscious and coming up from that, and then putting to use all of the materials, the natural resources that are around. Because the sea goat has recognized and realizes that in order to transform things, it's about taking the formless and creating some type of form so that many people can benefit. And therein lies the distinction between the mountain goat, which is about self, and the sea goat, which is about others. So with regards to the sea goat, it's the recognition that the sea goat is the servant of man, whereas the mountain goat has this understanding and expectation that other people will serve him. So where you are operating naturally, whether you're the mountain goat or the sea goat, it's about appreciating that distinction, and it's also about recognizing how you're able to grow into that sea goat aspect of your personality. And a way to do that could be about looking at your opposing sign, which is Cancer, and there is about pulling on the Cancerian qualities of care and consideration and compassion and nurturing and protection of others. And so it's about using your resources in a way that can benefit yourself and other people. Now, Mars is exalted in Capricorn, which may seem quite surprising. On one level it's not, because they're both cardinal signs. But whereas Mars wants to move forward just as Capricorn does. But the energy of Mars isn't blocked. It isn't necessarily slowed down within Capricorn. What happens is it gets transformed so that Mars becomes far more disciplined. And if you're applying that to your personality, it's about the recognition that Mars is very much about an ego-centered sign. But in Capricorn, there's the ability to move beyond the self and to bring in other perspectives and other views. And as a result of this, you're able to respect other people's contributions. And that's a great lesson to learn as somebody who is a Capricorn. Now, if we turn to mythology, we have the god called Pan. So we're going back to Greek mythology. Pan was a god. And as a result, he had this challenge. He was faced with this war that was taking place between the Olympus gods as well as the titans of the earth. And so there was this war going on, and in order to escape and to try and protect themselves, they were driven into Egypt. And once there, Pan dove into the River Nile because he had to change his appearance and come up with a disguise. And once he came out of the River Nile, his disguise was the top half of his body, so his torso upwards, was a goat, and the lower half of his body was a fish. So this very inventive and creative transformation took place. As a result of this, Zeus awarded him, and he was then given a place in the heavens. But once there, what he manifested was his greed and his lust and his arrogance, and he flaunted that in the face of others. And this ties in with an aspect of the Capricorn personality, because of this lust, because of this greed, and because of this desire for material sustenance, there are times when you could come across as being quite ruthless or very dismissive in the pursuit of satisfying and quelling this economic insecurity. Now, when we're looking at the word pan, pan in French and Spanish and Italian is associated with bread. Tying that back in with the Capricorn personality, there's a sense that you are the breadwinner in your life or in your world. And being the breadwinner, this is what you use to propel you in order to acquire these material assets. And so that's it in terms of you with a sun in Capricorn or a rising sign in Capricorn. It's about this sense of being the breadwinner in your world, but it's about widening yourself beyond your personal ego. Which brings me to the question of the day, which is, what actions or what can you do so that you begin to live more as the sea goat as opposed to the mountain goat? Put your answers in the comment box below. Don't be bashful. You know I love to connect with you. And if you've got any other questions or queries, in the comment box below, and then I'll be in contact with you. Feel free to share this episode with other people in your network and let them know about the Sun Sign series as I'm coming towards the end. There's 2 more left. The next time I will be doing the Sun in Aquarius, which will be followed by the Sun in Pisces. So feel free to share this with people in your network. You can like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you again on the next episode.